into LeBlanc, into Zinzao, into the Leona, right? And it can match the Ornn. So they did have a bait in as possible. We've gotten the Raptors. There's a brief pause before the Krugs respawn. They're looking to get mid priority. This could turn into an invade and a contest on bot side jungle. Going on to Enjave, the contest begins.
Yeah, exactly like you were mentioning. They're 3 people strong. Supreme KT and Energy Wave have to simply walk away. But here's the flash stun along with the lockdown. The chains will land. And Checo live. Right, Melnick right now. He has to scale up. But as you look down, there we go. There is the Destiny to get a bunch of damage down on Chameleus. As Ignite taking him down. We'll see if Ignite can get a trade. Not enough damage to the Zeri yet.
Mission to be aggressive. He'll transfer that immediately into a held advantage for Akabane. It's happening on the bot side of the map here.
I was going to say here, Chameleus managed to find Edge Wave as well as there was waiting for them in the bush. And Edge Wave will go down yet again. And Korean KT actually had no idea.
To do anything mid, it will be via the bot side. So they're trying to contest this side of the map.
Yeah, a couple more autos should be able to do it. Yep, there we go. 2 teams, but I'm liking what I'm seeing a lot more out of Geo so far. Fourth for his layers. I imagine this is the kind of change and shift we've seen out of the Geo team. As there's a lockdown, a lot of big damage. Green KT has to get out of there, but Edge Wave, you got big beefy front line, Rocky will not land, but Chameleon is in some danger. Puts down the solar flare, which in just enough range for him to walk away and still get the lockdown onto Vizichachi. Who's bot lane by himself? Checolard has decided that he might want to die. Green KT, doesn't get the flag and drag, but to get priority over the bot tower. But Cream KT is left by himself. That is a illegal position, my friend. You cannot be in. Half his team was gone, so he was ultimately stuck. But speaking of being stuck, Vizichachi might be in that position. Zenith Blade will sadly not land, but the Solar Flare will not as well. Vizichachi though, locked in a corner, looking for the no button, and does that on Checolard, but now it's Chameleus up against this big, beefy Yordle, and Akabane shows up just to lock one down, gets the shield back, and he's living for so long. That was so close.
He lived for long enough, though. Hextech Drake going over to GamersOrigin was for you.
Yeah, and talking to the coaches at GameWard as well, they've mentioned that Herald priority is such a big play for them. They know that that's exactly what they want, and they more often than not draft themselves for playing around it too, because they're looking to push advantages, possibly even burst one of the members, that being Inax most likely, but you see Orly on the other side, all of them going in. Red Cream KT, the lockdown onto 2, just making sure the members can't get into the fight, but Vizichachi will give up his life for the trade.
Yeah, Smiley actually able to get a kill in that fight. He was on definitely a bit of an overextension there for Vizichachi. You can see here, he split off from the Jinx. They sight the Jinx, it's only Enjave there. They get the knock up, immediately burst everything that they can. Smiley, he's locked for too long. He isn't able to make the distance while they finish the Alistair. And Poppy there just a little bit too late.
And now, with the Dragon...
New Jinx had minimal protection. Vizichachi lands the first no button, or the stay right there button. Taking a lot of damage here, but also dealing a surprising amount.
And I believe Vizichachi will also stay right there as well, as he gets taken down. The next pick stayed far too long in the bot lane when he knew that all of GameWard were right across the pond. Backside Smiley lockdown as well. So it's a CC across the board for all these teams as Chameleon takes a big part of the damage. Checolard goes in, gets locked up right away, and he's the target you want as a straight 1-for-1 support from mid laner. And now Geo, they get the second. Vizichachi just far too tanky, but look on the backside. Smiley is excited. He's not locked down. All the CC on him, almost full health. Takes 2 tower shots, but does not care.
Yeah, they finally get the 5-on-5 they want. Vizichachi lands 2 very, very critical pins onto the wall. No flash needed for those. Manages to lock down Checolard as Checolard goes aggressive. Then locks down the second on the other side of the torches. Turns into resets for Smiley, turns into a 1-team fight. You can see the power in group situations that GamersOrigin have once Smiley is grouped with them, and given how difficult it is to get on top of him at all.
Yeah, because you see just how far back Smiley plays, right? Like you're mentioning with the flash and the cleanse.
Looking to flank, which leaves Smiley almost completely exposed. Chameleus moves up, they all move up. Smiley's almost on half HP. Akame knows a 1-for-1 trade is fine, because now there's no damage. Looks like GamersOrigin were halfway between setting up a trap and contesting mid-wave, and in between that was the opening that GameWard needed to get on top of Smiley. GamersOrigin trying to do GameWard. Hopefully we get a replay on that so we can see how it happened. GameWard, they need to spread GamersOrigin thin. GamersOrigin maybe getting too greedy there. Vizic somewhat isolated. We see Smiley on the back line, but all the front line seems to be too much of a comp that demands very little overall.
Speaking of doing too much, there's 3 locked inside the Cataclysm, and that'll burn the flashes, the Solar Flare. One for Masisi on top of the next. GO just keep getting slowed, and they're running out of options.
Yeah, I mean, that was a brilliant team fight win.
But look at the backside, look at Vizic. How many more can he get? There we go. That's 3 more down, but Inax is popping off on the Zeri. All these lightning bursts. He gets the triple kill, and all of Geo have to run away. They can do nothing against the lightning thief that is Inax.
It's a shame because I think their composition, if executed properly, is very difficult for GameWard to get in on, but they keep finding windows around the Poppy, around the Jarvan, around the Alistair, and once Smiley's knocked up even once, that's a huge window already for GameWard. A lot of threat, and they will end up taking the win.
Yeah, just like that, the game will end, and gonna make sure to pad their stats a little bit more. There we go, there's the Nexus, and better. I gotta say, right from the beginning, I personally was not too sure who this game would go to, because I find there were at least 3 to 4 instances where it just kept flipping back and forth between these two teams.